JFK. Hello, hello. I'm just trying to set up the flight here. So I'm trying to see what runway they're landing at in LaGuardia. I want to put in a runway, as the ATC in game is not very good at doing it. So. We're going to St. Louis out of LaGuardia. Surprised nobody's landing LaGuardia right now. Where are you going up the Hudson there, guy? Alright, he's going Indy. LaGuardia looks like he's landing either 2-2. I doubt he's landing 1-3. Yeah, he's going up the Hudson. He's going to JFK. So this Endeavor's coming in, so he's probably going at 2-2. We'll figure it out in here in a second. Alright, I'll start writing down some of the stuff, try to get ahead. Trying to finish up getting the stream set up. That is always a time-consuming effort. Alright, I think we'll plan for 2-2. That sounds right. Wind's 170, so I'm saying we're going 2-2. Updated the database on the planes. We actually have the proper database up to date, so we should have all the waypoints now, so that's good. So I'll plan on ILS 2-2. ILS 2-2. Alright, and then we don't want proud for that. Let's see. Let's plan this route here. Okay, so that's going to be the Nobby 5. How's it going, Sergeant, again? Hello, hello. Alright, so we're going to be taking off runway 8 out of Jacksonville BR STL1. We're going to do the Nobby 5 ILS 22. Okay. Make sure that flight plan's still good. 350 is fine. Let's put on some fuel. Let's go up, I don't know, we'll go up 62% there on the fuel. Should always be in pounds, please. I don't need you ever in gallons. Thank you. Remember what I put in for stuff. Alright, so that's good. And then what's our arrival gate? Let's say we want to go to, let's say we go over here. And that'll be our arrival. Alright. If that makes sense. Let's see what we're looking at here for... I'm gonna try to plan out the flight plan a little bit better. Not or better, but a little bit more involved. We'll do Sky Vector here. Let's go ahead and plan this out. IRL, you know, dispatch is gonna give you this, so it's let's see, we'll go on. KJAX. Guardia. Alright, and then let's see, we'll start planning this up. Right, it's gonna be Terry, Bristol, Baxley, Team, Bland, Brosk, Brosk to Drake. To NIS PL. Alright. DNY. Peter. Cypher. Cypher, I guess. Tracer. Cash. Cash should be on the Nobby, but I'm going to go all the way to Nobby. Put the whole thing in here. It's not going to hurt anything. Nobby. TMK. Okay. Rhymes. Alright, so full flight plans in there. Alright, let's take a look. Right, so it looks like we're going to be taking off jacks there, and then we're turning on course to... Why is that off like that? There, I don't know. Baxley. Alright, and then it's going on to team, and then we're doing, that is what? Q99. Q99, then we're cutting across. Why are we cutting across off of Team Bland, Brosk? Because it's not using the airways, really. Q75, see, it keeps coming off airway, which is friggin' weird. The way the game plans this is messed up. The game should be planning off these Q routes. Maybe, maybe not, depends. Alright. Alright, anyways, that's in, we've got that. Alright. Go ahead and we'll fly it. We're good to see Sergeant again. Let's go ahead and get the... Yep, let's get rid of that shit. Let's see... Where is that? Where is that? There it is. Flightsim. Alright, quick reference guide. I shouldn't have clicked enter on that. Sorry. Let's see how I bring up the picture thing here. Screw it. I'm not gonna bother. I can crop it here. Let's just do this. I'll go through and crop it later. Alright. Alright, that's good. Alright, tracker is coming off. Let's get set up. We'll go cold and dark. Ooh, good vertical development on this sucker. See if I see any, got any rain down there right now? Florida? Yeah, we got a little bit just north of Jacksonville, and we got a bunch hitting the area that was where the hurricane was, which is not good. Give those people a break. Alright, circuit breakers are in, nose wheel steering is off, let's see, hydraulics are off, gear handle is down, spoilers stowed, flaps are 0, radars are off, ADG handle is stowed, emergency flap lever is stowed. Alright, let's go ahead and put power on. Alright, batteries on. Alright, let's go ahead and we'll check electricity here. 22 volts, we've got it. APU and byte, SOV valve open. Symbology and door is now open. Once the door opens, we can spool. Alright. Alright, let's see if we can't get this plane loaded up here. With packs. 78 packs is good. Alright, there we go. There's that message. Alright, we're up there. That's good. Alright. Let's go ahead and check AC, DC, the band. AC is good. DC is good. 3A's coming on. Packs. Recirc fan. Alright, we're all set there. Alright. IRS is next. Get those moving. Should have put them on. Oh, here, I can do it now. I have to do this every time, which is kind of annoying. Options, and then I want realistic IRS. That'll just take longer to get the IRS up. There we go. All right. That'll start going now. All right, good. All right, so the new database, I just paid for this month's AIRAC, so might keep paying for it. We'll see. But we now have the 3rd of October is the new data from yesterday. So I now have all the current waypoints, which is convenient. And today's the 4th of October. So you check this page, make sure everything's good there, and that you have the most up-to-date stuff. Because your database would be out. Let's see. Alright, Jacksonville. Alright, we're going to be going to LaGuardia. Alright, that's good. Alright, what are we doing? Bristol 1? Bristol 1 off of 8. So, Bristol 1 off of runway 8. Transition, I think it's Baxley. Let's look real quick. Looks like Baxley. Terry, Bristol, Baxley. Okay, Baxley. Execute that. Alright, let's go to the flight plan. I'm going to try to... I'm going to have to put him in. Let's just leg him in. Alright, vector, then... Alright, so we just have that heading, that vector, and then we're going to go to get Terry, Baxley. So off that vector, we're going to go to Terry, Bristol, Baxley. Alright, and then we'll start putting in from there. Alright, Bristol, Baxley, then we have team. Alright, so from team, I'm trying to do it on the airways here. I won't screw around with the airways too much, it's a pain in the ass with the way that the game flight plans, so we'll just do it off the way the game's flight plan in here. Bland, Brosk. Nope, that's spelled wrong. I'm actually going to go ahead and put the arrival in here. My preferred way to do it. 2-2, and then we're going to be doing, I think it was Nobby. Yeah, Nobby 5. Let me just double check. Nobby 5, and then where are we coming in on? Check the arrival on this. DNY. Should be DNY. DNY right there. Alright, transition, DNY transition. We'll execute that. I prefer to do it this way, then I know where to stop. So, alright, Brosk. Drake. You know, it's not putting me on airways, which it should be. I don't know how I gotta play with that to try to do it myself. Nispel. Like some people using third-party software do it. I wish the game itself would do it. It's kind of annoying. Alright, Drake, Nispel, and then DNY. Alright, so that's in. Alright, full flight plan's in. Alright, nice. Alright, let's see. We got 12, 226. For fuel. 1075 for cargo. We have 78 passengers. Alright, and we're going to be flight level 350 on the cruising altitude. That's good. Execute that. We'll go back to flight plan. What's our, we're 4921. 4921. Alright, runway 8's in there. That's good. Alright, everything looks good here. Let's go ahead over and we'll copy it in the other one. And we'll go ahead to MFD menu and we'll select what we want for that. Alright, let's check on, we have trim of 6.8. On the trim. Alright, good. Let's go ahead and we'll put in a little bit of a rise for the pressurization. That's good there. Alright, anything else I need here? Probably not. I think we're good. I'm not counting this as first flight of the day, so let's go grab ATIS.
Jacksonville Airport information, Whiskey 2100 Zulu. Wind 057 at 11. Visibility 10 in heavy rain. Sky condition, ceiling 1,900 feet broken. Temperature 28. Dew point 10. Altimeter 30.04. ILS Yankee runway 8 in use. Landing and departing runway 8. DFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back, hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact. You have whiskey.
We have the whiskey. Just trying to see if we need an alternate. I'm not gonna bother looking at the tap. We have 10 statute miles. We have broken at 20,000. Yeah, so we're probably gonna be fine. I'll check in the air. I'll check a tap before we go.
Clearance delivery Endeavour 49er21 ready to copy IFR clearance to LaGuardia.
Endeavour 49er21 is cleared to LaGuardia Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 8 climb and maintain 8,000 feet. Departure frequency is 132.775 squawk 0645.
Endeavour 49er21 cleared to LaGuardia Airport is filed. Takeoff runway 8 climb and maintain 8,000 feet. Departure on 132.775 squawk 0645.
Endeavour 49er21 read back correct. Contact ground on 121.9er. Good day.
Alright, so if we look here, we have 077 is going to be our heading off the runway to start with. So I'm going to put that in. That's runway heading, 077. Okay, so we're good there. Let me just quickly check the quick reference here. Okay, I think we're good here. Alright, we're all set to go. Let's go ahead and close up. Doors page.
Captain, the cabin is secure. All passengers are aboard.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the captain and crew,
Alright, doors page closed.
we hope you enjoy flying with us. Before takeoff, we would like to encourage
Jacksonville
all
ground,
passengers
Endeavour
to watch their cabin
49er21
crew display the
requesting
safety
pushback.
features of the aircraft.
Endeavour 49er21 pushback request accepted.
Right, passenger signs I did not turn on. Right, passenger signs on, landing elevation set, altimeter is 3004. Within 75 feet of field elevation, FMS check set, IRS is aligned. Radios are set, takeoff brief, and we'll be taking off runway 8. I'll go through that in a second here. I gotta grab air nav. Get rid of sky vector, I don't really need it. Okay. Start spinning. 1. Right, we got, let's see, runway 8. What the hell's runway 8? We get 10,000 feet of runway if we have an emergency before. 80 knots will stop on the runway. After 80 knots, we'll only stop for critical events. After V1, we're going to go ahead and take off. We'll deal with it in the air, and we'll come back and plan to land at runway 8. We are below max takeoff, or max landing weight, rather, so we can we don't need to deal with fuel or burn off fuel at all. We'll just come right back. Oh, the fire truck's there. What's that all about? Wait on fuel. Let's go. Dink, dink, dink. Oh, didn't mean to do that.
Jacksonville ground, Endeavour 49er21 requesting the end of pushback.
Endeavour 49er21 request to end pushback received.
Alright, one's up. Spin it.
Ladies and gentlemen, please pay attention as we display
Maybe a quick taxi out, so I'm not going to worry about it. Likely going to get, I would say, Hotel Juliet Alpha, unless the taxiways have the wrong numbers on them, as they usually do.
If there is smoke in the cabin during the evacuation of the aircraft, the walkway emergency lights will display to the exits, which are located here and here. In case of an extreme emergency landing, you'll be instructed to get into the brace position, which is executed by placing your head between your knees with your hands over your head. We would also like to remind you that you should turn off all electronic devices.
Let's see.
We thank you for paying attention during this brief presentation.
Pick off all runways. Climb and assign heading for radar vectors to cross tree at above 3,000, and then on track 335 to Bristol, then transition minimum 3,000. Expect file 10 minutes after departure. Alright, so simple heading, and then they'll send us to tree. We're going to be above 3,000 tree, which we will be. Alright, 2's up. Alright, engines are... We got AC power on the engines. DC power on the engines. Hydraulics are all set, and we can shut down the APU. If you thought you were going to have a long taxi, you'd go ahead and probably go out on 1.
Jacksonville ground, Endeavour 49er21 with whiskey ready to
Let's go
taxi
flight controls
IFR.
real quick.
Endeavour 49er21 taxi to and hold short of runway 8 using taxiway Charlie.
Alright, tracker.
Contact tower on 118.3 when ready.
Taxiing hold short runway 8 using taxiway Charlie, Endeavour 49er21.
Alright, brakes work. Alright, after start, generators are auto, electrics check, bleed valves are auto, packs are on, APU is off, anti-ice is off, and nose wheel steering, I always forget that, is on. Taxi. Flaps set to 8. Flight controls are checked, trims are 6.5, I believe, and green. Thrust reversers are armed. Flight instruments are checked, brake temperatures checked, taxi checklist complete. Good to go up. I've got the runway diagram up. And we're starting to get dark, so I'm just going to go ahead and kick on the nav lights. Make it a little easier for people to see us. So how's it going with you? Sorry, you done with work yet? Sorry about that. I put my glass in front of the track IR. So one way I can, like, besides having the taxi diagram up next to me, one way I can tell that we're taxiing the correct direction is if you look at my heading bug. My heading bug's on runway heading. We're going opposite where we're the runway heading, so as you can see, that means we're parallel in the runway. We're going to be taking off of going the opposite direction. So. It's especially this type. Well, this isn't all that bad. Lexington, Kentucky had a crash one time when you crossed over one runway to the next, and if you turned and you saw the runway, somebody took off the wrong runway and it was too short and they crashed. So one thing you want to always do is before you take off, unless you're really familiar with the air, well, you should be doing it anyway, is you want to look at your heading, make sure your heading matches the runway number, which is runways are numbered after the heading. Tax checklist complete. All set here. So we should have a takeoff config OK. Should be our top message right there. Takeoff config OK. So that means that we have the parking brake off. Our flaps are set to where they should be. Everything is set up for takeoff. So if I put the parking brake on, that would shut off. If the flaps were in the wrong spot, if they were greater than 20 or less than 8. So essentially, if they're 8 or 20, those are the two acceptable flap settings for takeoff. If they were not those, you're not going to take off okay, essentially. So you can kind of see, if you look at the end of the runway, see those red lights and you get yellow lights flanking them? Talk about that last stream. You know, the last 3,000 feet of the runway starts going with yellow on the sides, red terminator bars. Oh, Jesus Christ. 3,000 feet to go. So 3 down to 2, you get alternating white and reds on the center line, and then the last 2,000 center line are all red. And that's to warn you, you're running out of runways, so if you're taking off, you got to consider rotating. And if you're trying to stop and you're not into heavy braking yet, you should start really getting into heavy braking, or consider it. If you need to. You know, it's all if you need to. You don't need to get into heavy braking if you know you're going to stop. If you're down to 10 knots, you don't need to slam on the brakes because you're not going that fast. All right, runway 8, we verify runway 8. That's something that's not relatively new, but
Jacksonville
newish.
Tower Endeavor 4921 ready for
Not every
IFR
airport
departure
has that.
runway 8.
Endeavor 4921 altimeter 30.041057 at 11. Cleared for takeoff runway 8.
Cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff runway 8 Endeavor
All right,
4921.
bridge clear. I'm going to click the radar on here. We got heavy rain in the area. We look at the sock, we get a left crosswind, probably about 5 to 10 knots, maybe like 8. So those right there is where those red lights live. See them? Those red lights at the end. Thrust set. Airspeed alive. 80 knots. A little bit of aileron in the wind. V1. Rotate. Positive rate. Gears coming up. Select heading, select speed. Now I don't need to put the autopilot on. When I do that, it will run the flight director. So see the flight director is telling me to turn left a little bit. Then if I want to put that,
good day.
Increase the speed.
Going to 132.775 Endeavor 4921.
Climb out stuff here.
Jacksonville departure Endeavor 4921 is passing 1,900 feet, climbing 8,000 feet.
Endeavor 4921 Jacksonville departure altimeter 30.04 radar contact. Continue to Terry.
All right, going to Terry. So we just got our turn. So again, we're runway heading until they tell us to turn, which they just did. See all the. I gotta look at the weather radar on this plane. But I should be hitting, especially this real dark stuff, I should be hitting. So I gotta look why I'm not getting it. like we should be hitting some water on this here. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go direct Terry. So I'm gonna take Terry, I'm gonna move it up to the vector. We want to execute it, and then I'm gonna go to nav. And now we're going direct Terry.
Endeavor 49er21 climb and maintain 16,000 feet.
16,000. So I'm gonna try to out-climb this storm here.
Climb and
Best I
maintain
can.
16,000 feet. Endeavor 49er21.
Endeavor 49er21 contact Jacksonville Center on 126.75. Good day.
At 16,000.
126.75 Endeavor 49er21.
We're in the
Goodbye.
flight attendant, could get choppy. So I call them, let them know, hey, make sure you're in your seat. Because sometimes they'll pop out of their seat to start doing service, and it's like, stay in your seat. We're going to be going through some stuff here. Once we climb out, I'll let you know. See, we're pretty much topping it right now anyway. I accidentally clicked on an ad on Reddit. Ugh. On the Airsoft forum, trying to figure it out. Alright, shut off the dark hour, thanks. Yeah, it looks like they're just not, they haven't been working on it, unfortunately. So I'm keeping our speed relatively slow so we have a higher climb angle to try to get above some of this weather. I'd speed us up a little bit if we didn't have so many clouds. Not that it's like dangerous to go in there, it just could be rough air, so try to get above it first.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now serving sandwiches.
Serving sandwiches back there. That's 15,000 for 16,000. Fortunately, he's not going to give us our next altitude until we level off. Ideally, you want them to give it to you before it goes into alt cap, so you can just leave it where it is. We'll let it accelerate out, and then he'll give it to us, and we'll climb. Alright, to run the climb checklist, fuel cross flow is to auto. Bleeds APU are set, thrust reversers are off, and CAS are checked. Climb checklist complete. Alright, now that we're clear of the clouds here, next time we climb, I'm going to climb out faster. At a faster speed. Give me a climb. Did he give me a frequency? He did. He gave me a frequency change. My fault.
Jacksonville Center Endeavor 49er21 16,000 feet.
Endeavor 49er21 Jacksonville Center altimeter 30.04 radar contact. Continue to Terry.
Give me a climb.
Endeavor 49er21 climb and maintain flight level 280.
Climb and maintain flight level 280 Endeavor 49er21.
He's gonna do it now. Use speed mode to get off of the overspeed there.
Endeavor 49er21 contact Jacksonville Center on 132.3. Good day.
1 tree, 2 decimal tree, Endeavour 49er21. Goodbye. Jacksonville Center, Endeavour 49er21 is at flight level 185, climbing flight level 280.
Endeavour 49er21 Jacksonville Center radar contact, continue to BRSTL.
So I got us on a flatter climb profile. I'm doing 320 knots, but I'm still doing 3.3. So you kind of want to get in that flatter trajectory. You'll actually get more per minute anyway. I don't know, like, I have no idea what, like, how the multiplayer works. Like, it would be cool to have an FO. Like, that would be cool to have somebody to help and, like, alternate legs, do pilot flying, do pilot not flying. I would be happy to do that with the community. I just have to look into it and see how you do it. I haven't really looked into it yet. You know, part of this, I'm trying to, like, study the plane for some reasons I may reveal or not. But, trying to study the actual plane, so I'm flying a lot myself now, and then it would be cool to get the community and do some, you know, like a standard trip. So like what you would do is each leg you alternate. So like I would fly a leg as captain, FO would fly a leg as FO, and then you swap legs. Like some people think the captain always flies. No, that would be the worst idea in the world, because if you figure it, you know, let's say it takes you, I don't know, let's say it takes you a year to be captain, or 2 years, or whatever it's going to be. It's quicker now. It'll be quicker for me. But, you know, depending on where you are in your, you know, hours and everything else, like back when I was first in the airlines, it could take 8 years to be captain. And so imagine if you didn't fly at all for 8 years, like how rusty you'd be, you know, and some of that stuff. And so you alternate legs anyway. You'd also be worn out flying all the time. Like you need to alternate the legs. So you do pilot flying, pilot not flying. And so that would be kind of neat to do, where, you know, like I flew into Jacksonville, so the other person would fly the leg back, and then it's nice because, like, let's say I'm the pilot not flying, your responsibilities change. So as soon as I take off, because I'm hand flying, the pilot not flying is responsible for the radios and everything on the mode control panel. So like as I'm taking off and I'm clicking speed and heading, I would not do that. I would keep my hands on the yoke and on the thrust levers. I would I would not put my own gear up. So when you rotate, you say positive rate, gear up, then the pilot not flying puts the gear up. You go select heading, select speed, and then you'll say select speed 200, or whatever you're going to set it to. Like I end up putting it to 220. And so the pilot not flying would do that. As soon as you put on the autopilot, though, now the pilot flying does all that button touching.
Endeavour 49er21 climb and maintain flight level 340.
340.
Climb and maintain flight level 340, Endeavour 49er21.
And so the pilot not flying would then just do the radios, pretty much. You know, so one of the reasons you want to get it on the autopilot is to put less work on the pilot not flying in critical phases of flight. So if I turn that autopilot on early, now the pilot flying can do all of this stuff up here and command the plane, where before, if you're hand flying it and they say, you know, turn direct Terry, the pilot flying, they would turn the plane direct Terry, and the pilot not flying would go in the FMS and go direct Terry, and then would select nav. So they would do all that work. You wouldn't do it as the pilot flying. You would just fly shit. I forgot we get the speed, the Mach speed difference there. Oh, come on. I hate this thing. How it, the scroll wheel does both your zoom and your, the scroll wheel does both your zoom and your, and spins a lot of your buttons and stuff, so it's ultimately obnoxious. Yeah, as the speed of sound changes, so for example, when you're down low, like if you look right now, we're currently doing 300 knots indicated. Our speed across the ground is 455. So we're 156 knots faster over the ground than we actually are indicating. And that's because indicated airspeed is just what you feel because of how dense the air is going into the tube and being compared with static air pressure. So, and that's what the plane cares about. For example, there's a speed at which this windshield wiper will rip off and depart. And so, for example, there's a max speed on windshield wipers. I don't know if it says it. I'll look it up. But that's why when they're parked, as you see, they go straight up and down, so there's less wind resistance. You wouldn't want to turn the windshield wiper on. It would rip off. Certain antennas and stuff, little doors and panels, often there are speed restrictions for things like gear doors. So, for example, let's look at those speeds here. So, VFE flap extension, to put the flaps down from 1 and 8, it has, see, 1 and 8. You can only be going 230 knots. Flaps 20 to 20. Flaps 30 is going to be 185. Flaps 45, 170. All right. Landing gear extension. You can only extending your gear. You can extend it at 220 knots, and the max speed extended is 220 knots. That is likely due to the gear doors. You're not going to rip off your landing gear going 220 knots. But you could rip the door off because the door is just a piece of metal with a little bit of a, it's like usually a little bar that holds onto it so that it contorts correctly. So you rip your gear door off. So that's why you have a max speed on that. So a lot of these max speeds are not because the planes are going to explode or anything like that or rip apart. It's, you might lose an antenna that's important to you, know. So stuff like that. Like if you look here, you have the landing gear retraction speed is slower than the landing gear extension. And the reason is which direction the nose wheel goes. So generally speaking, when that happens, that means the nose gear is going forward. And so the nose gear has to go against the flow of the air. And so you're fighting the air pressure to put the nose gear up. And so that's why we want to make sure our nose gear is up before 200 knots. So for example, when I first take off, if we look at performance data, if you look at V2, 152. So V2 has a bunch of different reasons. V2 plus 10 here is 162. So we're bugged out at V2 plus 10. You notice that's below 200 knots. And so once the gear is up, that's when we want to accelerate. Because we want to make sure the gear is retracted before we go over 200 knots. So the other thing too is as we go up in altitude, the max indicated airspeed is going to go down because we have a certain Mach number we can go to in this airplane. And as we go higher, the tape is going to come down as the Mach number comes down. So like if I switch into Mach, climbing out here, switch to vertical speed mode, we're not climbing fast enough here. Gotta sacrifice some speed for the climb here. But as we go up higher in altitude, so that's why this overspeed came on, is we could go 320 at a lower altitude. At the higher altitude, we can't, and it's because of the Mach number. If you look, that's 0.81. We have a maximum Mach this airplane's allowed to go. So our max Mach, I believe, is 0.84 in this plane, as you can see, right about there. 350.
Climb and maintain flight level 350 Endeavour 4921.
So right there's Mach 0.84. So before we were able to go 320 at a lower altitude, that's Mach 0.87. The plane's not allowed to go faster than 0.84. So the speed alarm went off. The indicated airspeed, we could do an indicated airspeed of 320, but we can't do that Mach of 0.87. We can only do 0.84. And that starts getting into things like Mach buffets. And so you get things like Mach tuck, where your center of gravity or center of lift will start to move afterward. And so you get in a situation where the center of lift is too far forward. You get out of your CG envelope. Let's see if we can see it in performance. So see how we're out of our CG envelope right here? That's likely because at the speed, it's pushing our CG forward.
120.85 Endeavor.
because our center lift
4921.
is going backwards.
Goodbye.
And so you get in a situation where, you know, you get a
Jacksonville
shifting
Center,
center
Endeavor
lift because of
4921
the
is passing
speed of
flight
sound.
level 330, climbing flight level 350.
Endeavor 4921 Jacksonville Center radar contact continue to TEM.
Team. So let's see. I want to answer Sarge's thing. How much money do you have you put in at Microsoft Flight Sim and also? So I answered the multiplayer. I didn't answer the money. I got the game on sale. I think it was like 30 something bucks, almost 40 bucks, and then another 60 probably total for this plane, and then another 20 for, I think it was 15, 20 for the Mooney. So 100, 120, and then I just paid, you know, not that that's part of Flight Sim, but I paid, you know, 10 bucks, essentially 10 bucks a month, a little bit more. Probably it's in euros for to update the AirAC. You know, let's put it this way: a lot more than Stormworks, and a lot less than Star Citizen. And I don't regret spending the money on this. I do regret spending the money on Star Citizen, and I do not regret spending the money on Stormworks. Got a little bit of a left crosswind, not really enough to the. It's not really enough to give us any sort of speed advantage here. You know, if that was on our tail, that would be nice. We'd be doing a little over 500 knots.
4921 contact Jacksonville Center on 132.5.
325. So, like, this is a good trick if you weren't paying attention. You got to put it in quickly. Just type it in the scratch pad.
Going to 132.5 Endeavor 4921.
And then you just have to read it. And you can do it one or two ways. You want to put it in here, you can. So this is already pre-selected. So 132.5 is in there. We'll put it in there. And then, you know, you could put it in the active, but I don't want to do that because that preserves my last frequency in case I
Jacksonville
typed it
Center
in wrong.
Endeavor 4921 flight level 350.
Endeavor
350.
4921 Jacksonville Center radar contact continue to BLAN.
BLA. So like if you look now, you see how low the indicated airspeed is? All right, that's down to, I don't know, 292. Our indicated airspeed looks, you know, it's down to 292, but look at our ground speed. Our ground speed's 491 knots. So we're doing a pretty good speed across the ground. If we went up higher, this tape would keep coming down. Our indicated airspeed would go down, and our ground speed would likely go up if the, well, it would go up if the speeds, if the wind speed stays the same. For example, we could go up a couple thousand feet and have a hellacious headwind, switch to a headwind, and then we'd be in deep shit on that. So unlikely to be the case, but that could happen. So.
Endeavor 4921 traffic is 10 o'clock 4 miles at flight level 400 Airbus A20N.
There is.
Report them in sight.
Endeavor 4921 have the traffic.
Let me check up. Let me do a search right now and see about. Yeah, I'm gonna read up on multiplayer to answer Sergeant's question.
Endeavor 4921 traffic is 9 o'clock 4 miles at flight level 360 Airbus A20N. Report them in sight.
Yeah, Niner. Sam. That was late on. He probably, this guy called
Endeavor
the traffic super
4921
late.
don't have the traffic.
Put the radar back off. I don't think it works anyways. So, like, for example, let's say when we left, I turned the radar on. What it would show is it would show the outline of that cell. And if we got real bad red returns, one thing we'd try to do is climb at a slower speed but a higher vertical speed and try to climb through it as fast as possible. You see, we pretty much topped it anyways. But like, if it looked bad, we could really try to top it, or we could tell ATC that we need to go 20 degrees right for weather. They will give it to you every time. They're not going to tell you no. They're going to give it to you. Yeah, because they know what will happen next. You know, if you don't want to be in that storm and they tell you to go in the storm, you're just going to declare an emergency and do it. And now the ATC's got to worry about you filing on that. It's like, hey, we need to go through the storm. We need to go around the storm. We aren't going to fly through it. ATC told us no, so we declared an emergency. You know, it's not something that they can argue with you about. You know, they might ask you, you know, can you hold off for another 2 minutes, and then I can give you a turn, and you can either agree to it or not. But you know, they're going to give you what you need as far as that. Like, here's actually pretty neat. Let me show you. That's a goddamn landing gear by accident. Fuck me. I don't know what's causing that. I'm hitting some button that's doing that. God damn it, that's fucking annoying. That's so annoying. It really is pretty stupid, that. I'm glad the game doesn't just, like, blow you up at that point, because it's like... It would damage the landing gear, but it's like, it's just because the scroll wheel does literally everything. The scroll wheel does this, the scroll wheel does me zooming, so it does everything. Alright, so let's look at this real quick. This is the actual flight that we're emulating here. So, looks pretty normal, right? They come up here. This is live weather right now. Is it? Let me see. Let's try replaying it. It might, I don't think it's going to show the actual weather. Yeah, see, it doesn't show the actual, so this is the weather right now. So, I think this is the weather right now. I'll look at here. You know what we can do? Let's do this. I'll bring up the current weather map. Yeah, this is the current weather. So, it's just overlaying the current weather onto this, and I think this was yesterday's flight. Let me look. Nope, this is today's flight. So it could be today's weather. But if you look here on the track, you see this zigzag here? That could have been a weather zigzag for weather. You know, so if this cell here, it was 3 hours ago, 3 hours and 55 minutes ago. So this cell right here likely was sitting right here. And what they did was they just went left and then came around the storm. So it could even be this one with a little bit of red. But you can't run off these returns right now anyways, because a storm will rain itself out. It'll piss all the rain out of itself, and then it's not really all that strong. Like, there's not really any strong cells. Like, this cell here is pretty beefy. That's a good area with red in it there. These cells here, like this one's a little bit gnarly down there. This one's a little bit gnarly. You can see it has red spots in it, which is likely means it's real tall. That one, this is probably an anvil off that. A little bit of uggy in there, but not too bad. This over here is the new hurricane tropical storm coming in. One looks like there's one behind it. You can kind of see that it's almost like a conveyor belt for the hurricanes. This is probably going to start spooling up when it gets over the water. This here is I think this is probably the hurricane that hit us, because it went up, crossed here, and then it went out, and you know, it lost it's not a hurricane anymore. It's just, it keeps bringing its moisture with it, and it pissed over Europe. Something stalled out over India there. Yeah. But likely that's what that weird zigzag is there, them going around storms. You can see they're zigzagging all over the storms here. So they're doing like these, they're almost like 90-degree left turns here. You know, should probably just working their way around some storm cells. You know, it also depends on what you want for Sergeant, as far as like you talk about cost for buying it yourself. The new one comes out, I think, soon. The new one comes out next month, I think. So it might hold off for that.
Generic 1 Tango X-ray, you are 21 miles
Like,
east.
you know, I got a yoke
Climb
and
maintain
throttle
4,000
for
feet,
my
expect ILS runway
for
7
a
approach
Christmas
via
present, I
Charlie
think.
Alpha Echo transition.
You can also just get like a
Clear to
cheap
Charlie
joystick
Alpha
for
Echo.
like $40. That's pretty good. You know, you don't have to go crazy on this stuff. You know, it's kind of, you know, you could spend $10,000 on a
Climb
sim
and
kit.
maintain 4,000 feet, expect ILS runway 7 approach via Charlie Alpha Echo transition. Clear to Charlie Alpha Echo Generic 1 Tango X-ray. Generic 1 Tango X-ray, contact Columbia, approach on 124.15. Good day. Going to 124.15, Generic 1 Tango X-ray. Generic 9er Mike Charlie, you are 9er 5 miles west. Climb and maintain 9,000 feet, expect vectors visual runway 35 approach. Endeavor 49er 21, contact Jacksonville Center on 124.7. Good day. Climb and maintain 9,000 feet, expect vectors visual runway 35 approach, Generic 9er Mike Charlie.
Going to 124.7 Endeavor 49er21. Jacksonville Center Endeavor 49er21 flight level 350.
Endeavor 49er 21 Jacksonville Center radar contact, continue to BLAN.
BLAN. So the other thing is, like, so if the captain's the pilot flying this leg, if you look here, we're on FMS 1. The FO would also be on likely FMS 1. So see how they're on FMS 2? So they could run it on FMS 2, but they might come over and run it on FMS 1, which would be the captain's FMS. So it would be off this FMS. So you're on the same system. Now you might, it depends on company policy, but you might run either of you on independent FMSs, and the reason being that you, if something happened to the captain's FMS, you could quickly just switch it over. And so, for example, like this one's running the same as the left one here, and so if I were to switch the nav source to FMS 2 and then reconnect nav, I'm running off the FO's panel. And then watch what happens when I switch this over. You'll see the nav goes off because I switched it. It's not going to immediately go to nav there. It's just going to click it off, and then I have to reselect it on. You see it's showing FMS 1. You can see here we're on FMS 1 here. Let's see. There was something on the 145. It was a switch you'd click and it would point to which pilots you're running off their system. And so as you switch legs, you'd click it the other way. I don't know how it's done on the CRJ. This is running off FMS 1 right now. Trying to see where that is. And then, so for example, you have which transponder you're running off of. We're running off of, I've got it on transponder 1, which is this one here. So those are redundant. And then really, the way this would be run IRL is if we look here, let me quickly just fill some of these in. So for example, let's scratch pad that, put that in comp 2. Let's scratch pad that, put that in comp 2. All right, so now they're matched. And so the way you'd really run this is the FO, because they're the pilot not flying this leg, they would actually be doing the radio. And so what you would do is you'd be on, you'd be reading off VHF2, so you'd be on their radio. They'd be on 2, listening on 2. And so you know, you could both talk on that if you need to. Like, say the FO is busy doing something, and the captain's flying, and you get the radio call. Captain can click on and answer. You know, it's, you know, like if you're in there digging in your bag trying to find a snack or something, it's not like you have to stop what you're doing to answer the radio. Like, captain will just click on and answer the radio call. You know. And so what they might end up doing is they're going to have to reach over to your panel to do it, or what they could do is come in the radio page here, and let's say you get a frequency change of 1, 2, 3, 4, then they just put it in 2, you know. So, you know, generally in airplanes is like, you know, with redundancy, oh, you got the pre-release of the new one? That's interesting. Very cool. Yeah, I haven't looked at it too much yet. I've watched a couple videos on it, kind of keep my powder dry. Like I said, the big thing that really is important to me is I want the sim factor to go up. Like this airplane, you know, I wasn't going to buy this airplane if it doesn't go into the new one. It does go into the new one. You know, like I really want them to fix the how bad the ATC is. It's like little tiny stuff that, like, you know, again, people underestimate how much it takes to develop a game, but it's also like, one of my complaints that's a pet peeve is, again, you're probably attracting a lot of aviation enthusiasts with a flight sim, kind of, you know, by definition. So it's like, it should be pretty good. You know, you should be really trying to get things right as far as simulator is concerned. So it's like, one of my pet peeves in this game right now is that they don't, you know, they have all these different, you know, they have all these aircraft they call heavies that are not heavies. You know, you got to be over 300,000 pounds, and it's like, so they call like regional jets heavies. It's like, no, man. You know, and then I understand that they probably have to pay a licensing fee to put a bunch of airplanes in, but like, you know, it's annoying when you see everything's an A320. You know, kind of annoying. You know, like Brickyard is a regional. They don't have A320s, and none of the A320s are heavies as far as I know. Let me look at the Neo. I doubt it though. A321 Neo. I want to see what the max takeoff weight is. Max takeoff weight. Let's see. Don't do it in tons. Why do you do it in tons? Do it in thousands of pounds. 213,000 pounds. So to be a heavy, you need to be over 300,000 pounds. So let's see. So yep, it's got to be more than 300,000 pounds. So the heaviest that a 321, which is the big, you know, is the biggest version of the A320 is not heavy enough to be a heavy. And so you get all these planes in game that have the heavy designation. It's just obnoxious. Like literally everybody's a heavy. It's like, you know, really it should be the other way around. Most are not heavies, and then, you know, every once in a while you get a heavy. You know, it should be a simple fix. Just like literally get rid of the designation for everybody except, you know, aircraft over 300,000 pounds. Yeah, I don't know. You know, one of the reasons why there's going to be a lot of A320s is the A320 is the most popular airplane in the world right now. Yeah, and it's gonna get more popular, seeing that Boeing, you know, chose profits over having a properly engineered set of aircraft. You know, back when Boeing was an engineered company, they built better products, and then they decided to, like, when McDonnell Douglas essentially took over their management, McDonnell Douglas was all about cutting corners and making more profit, and that's what's happening. Yeah, like, you know, Well, there's A320s, there's Cessna CJs, there's a bunch of Cessnas. You know, it wouldn't. You know, Cessna is one of the most popular GA aircraft, so that wouldn't surprise me. You know, like a lot of the aircraft have Garma 1000 units in them, and that could be, again, they have to pay a licensing fee to have those in the game. Yeah. You know, I like the live traffic, but like I've complained about before, is it doesn't take in consideration that you're there. So what it should do is say, hey, we've got an actual player in our single-player game here. He's going to take precedence. So if we get a live airplane that's in the way, despawn them. You know, get rid of them. You know.
Endeavour 49er 21, contact Atlanta Center on 133.15.
13315.
133.15.
So he was
Endeavour
overly quiet
49er
because the
21.
volume wasn't as high
Goodbye.
on VHF2 as it was on
Frontier
VHF.
Flight 1556 Heavy, you are 49er miles southeast. Climb and maintain flight level 240. Expect ILS runway 18 left approach via cabby transition. Cleared to cabby.
And so that's how we would do
Atlanta
it, because
Center Endeavour 49er 21.
you know, you'd
flight
be
level
set to
350.
2 so that the FO's
Endeavour
panel's
49er
running.
21 Atlanta Center radar contact continue.
Yeah, because I'm the pilot flying. I don't have the radio on my side, because you wouldn't want the FO to have to reach over here the whole time. You'd have, this is the captain's radio. FOs, you just both run on 2. Yeah, it just got, that's one thing why, like, I'm kind of a proponent of having some of these monopolies prevented, because once they get too big to fail,
Heavy traffic is 2 o'clock 4 miles at flight level
like, see,
360.
Frontier has no heavies.
Report them in sight.
Annoying.
Endeavour 49er 21 traffic is 9 o'clock 3 miles at flight level 370 Airbus A20N. Report them in sight.
What is it doing? Why are
Endeavour
we getting our ass
49er
kicked
21
around
traffic
here?
in sight.
Yeah, we're getting our ass kicked around here for a second. I was kicking the rudder.
Allegiant 314 heavy traffic is 4 o'clock 4 miles at flight level
Yeah.
360.
Heavy.
Report them in sight. Delta 1346 heavy
Yeah,
in sight.
that's the problem with monopolies, is why they need to be prevented early.
Allegiant
Is
314 heavy traffic in sight.
you have Boeing and McDonnell Douglas and all these other companies merge, and then you don't have any competition. So, for example, like,
314 heavy contact Jacksonville Center on
if Boeing started doing this shady shit, you'd have other manufacturers who would be able to, like, take over and support. And if it came to it, you could allow that company to die. But the problem is, you have Allegiant doesn't have any heavies either. You can't afford to let Boeing go under, because we have no other airline manufacturers in this country.
1454 heavy is at flight level 320, climbing flight level 340. Spirit Wings 1454
Yeah,
heavy.
you had
Atlanta Center
Lockheed, you had
radar
McDonnell
contact
Douglas, you had Boeing hit a ton all at once. And then it went to nobody. Just Boeing. We've got, you got Embraer, you got Airbus, Canadair, and Boeing. And then you've got China making some jets.
Atlanta Center
Russia.
Frontier Flight 1556 heavy is at 9,500 feet, climbing flight level 240. Frontier Flight 1556 heavy, Atlanta Center altimeter 30.16 radar contact. Continue to cabby. Delta 214 heavy traffic is 12 o'clock 4 miles at flight level 330 Airbus A20N. Report them in sight. Spirit Wings 1454 heavy traffic is 8 o'clock 2 miles at flight level 360 Airbus A20N. Report them in sight. Delta 214 heavy, have the traffic. Frontier Flight 1556 Heavy, contact Charlotte approach on 120.5. Good day. Delta 1346 Heavy, contact Washington Center on 135.2. Good day. Piedmont 5910 Heavy, you are 83 miles
Piedmont
west.
doesn't have any heavies either.
Climb and maintain 11,000
Like literally
feet.
all
Expect
these should have their
ILS runway
heavy
for approach via
designations
Dodge
taken away. I'd
Clear
rather
to
have no
Dodge.
heavy designations than get them like everybody has
Delta
them.
214 Heavy,
So,
contact Washington Center on 135.2. Good day. Piedmont 5910 Heavy, you are 81 miles west of Fayetteville. Contact Fayetteville Tower on 118.3 inbound. Allegiant Niner Tree 2 Heavy, contact Washington Center on 135. Endeavor 49er 21 traffic is 1 o'clock 4 miles at flight level 340 Airbus A20N. Report them in sight.
no joy.
Airbus 643, you are 17 miles northeast. Descend and maintain 6,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 18 left approach via Cavie transition. Cleared to Cavie. Spirit Wings 1454 Heavy, traffic is 7 o'clock 3
does too
miles
is
at flight
annoying.
level 360. Report them in sight.
Endeavor 49er 21 traffic not in sight.
It's like you call me, let me respond. Then you call the next guy, let them respond. That's how it works. Not just yak 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 yak. Okay, everybody try to remember who was first, who was second, who was third.
Spirit Wings 1454 Heavy, have the in sight. Descend and maintain 6,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 18 left approach via Cavie transition. Cleared to Cavie Blue Streak 5357. Endeavor 49er 21, contact Atlanta Center on 128.8.
8.
Good day.
Got 8.
One two 8.8 Endeavor 49er 21. Goodbye.
I did it. I just didn't see it.
Atlanta Center Endeavor 49er 21 flight level 350.
Endeavor 49er 21, Atlanta Center radar contact, continue. Cessna 24 Romeo, contact Washington Center on 124.05. Good day. Going to 124.05, Cessna 24 Romeo. Atlanta Center Skywest 4114 Heavy is passing flight level 210, climbing flight level 250. Skywest 4114 Heavy, Atlanta Center radar contact, continue. Cessna 6 Charlie Papa, contact Atlanta Center on 125.15. Good day. 125.15 Cessna 6 Charlie Papa. Goodbye. Cessna 2 Delta Alpha contact Atlanta Center on 133.15. Good day.
Get a call while I was...
Going to 133.15 Cessna 2 Delta Alpha. Atlanta Center Donner November 867 Papa Papa is at 9,800 feet, climbing 17,000 feet. Donner November 867 Papa Papa Atlanta Center altimeter 30.16 radar contact, continue to WLLSH. Endeavor 49er 21 contact Washington Center on 124.05.
405.
Good day.
One 124.05 Endeavor 49er21. Goodbye. Washington Center Endeavor 49er21 flight level 350.
Endeavor 49er 21 Washington Center radar contact, continue to Brosque.
Alright, so I got Navgraph in now. Paying for it, might as well use it.
Endeavour 49er21 traffic is 1 o'clock 4 miles at flight level 360 Airbus A20N. Report them in sight.
Endeavour 49er21, don't have the traffic.
Nice billowy clouds out there too. Just, let's see. Alright, so I got Navgraph in now, so I'll use this. This is kind of cool. Get the old maps, and then I can overlay. This is the arrival we're doing here, so we're coming up to Delancey. It shows Peter there, less than 17, and then go Cypher, Teresa, Cash, Nobby, expect 8,000 for Nobby, Rhymes, Harp, Crayley, and then I can pin the
Endeavour 49er21 traffic is 12 o'clock 4 miles at flight level 340 Airbus A20N. Report them in sight.
Why is it not showing me the actual? That's why it's comp 2. I can switch
Endeavour 49er21 traffic alert. 12 o'clock less than 1 mile flight level 340 Airbus A20N. Report them in sight.
Nothing. Right behind me now.
Endeavour 49er21, don't have the traffic.
Alright, so you're about an hour 11 out. We'll play with the new Navgraph here. Alright, so one of the cool things is I can overlay the charts here. So like if I go ahead and I'll overlay
Washington Center volunteer tree
5.
104 heavy is
So we're
passing
coming
flight
up
level
here to
200,
Delancey. I
climbing
already
flight
walked
level
through that. And
290.
then go ahead.
Volunteer tree
Talk about
104
the
heavy
approach
Washington
here.
Center radar contact continue.
Alright, so there's the approach here. 10.5, final approach course 224. Greco at 1,900 is the final approach fix. DA is going to be 212 feet. Airport elevation is 21 feet. Touchdown elevation is 12. Let's see. Coming to Yeoman at 3,000. Then we'll go down to 1,900 Greco, intercept glide slope, come all the way down, and then again 212 on the decision height there. If we do lose the glide slope, we'll just carry on as localized down to 600 feet. That be the brief. If we do have to go missed, we're gonna go. We're just gonna get vectors and come back. But published missed is we're gonna head climb 3,000 outbound on the 225 radial to Proud and hold. With Proud we can do either a peril or a teardrop. We'll plan on the teardrop. We can do an inbound leg on it. That's the brief. But this is kind of cool. This is one of the things you're paying for, so if I'm going to pay for it, I might as well look at it. Yeah, you can do some flight planning through here. Like we can look through the leg. Like I can put in the whole flight here.
Endeavour 49er21 traffic is 12 o'clock 4 miles at flight level 340 Airbus A20N. Report them in sight.
Endeavour 49er21, don't have the traffic.
Endeavour 49er21 traffic alert. 6 o'clock less than 1 mile flight level 340 Airbus A20N. Report them in sight.
See him in the traffic scope here. Behind us. Say 6 o'clock? Yeah, 6 o'clock. He's behind me. It's your job to keep him away from me there, ATC. Go back to what I was doing before he interrupted me. Can I drag this?
Endeavour 49er21 contact Washington Center on 135.4.
354.
Good day.
35 decimal for Endeavour 49er21. Goodbye. Washington Center, Endeavour 49er21, flight level 350.
Endeavour 49er21 Washington Center radar contact continue.
I don't remember what we took out of here. Say runway available. Let's do add to route. Go. Did the Bristol one. Bristol one to what do we do? Baxley? Baxley. Baxley. Okay. Where do we go from
Endeavour
here?
49er21 traffic is 12 o'clock 4 miles at flight level 380 Cessna Skyhawk. Report them in
I
sight.
doubt that's a Cessna Skyhawk. Is it a CJ?
Endeavour
Where's
49er21, have the Cessna Skyhawk in sight.
Alright, where do we go? Baxley to...
American 1084 heavy contact Washington Center on 127.925. Good day. Going to 127.925 American 1084 heavy.
No, just don't like that tilt at all. Keep it flat for me there, guy. Thanks. Gross. So, see if I get old waypoints in here. Team after that. Find team. Let's see. Baxley to team. Is there a search function? Team. After Baxley. Alright, there's team. And then we went up Q99 to Blaine. Alright, then we looks like we went up Q99. I think it took us off Q99, so I gotta find. Wait. Rosk.
Cessna 508 contact Roanoke. Departure on 135.0. Good day.
Yeah, see, it's not putting us on airways. Then it took us Q75 to Drake.
Endeavour 49er21 contact Washington Center on 121.675. Good day. Going to 135.0 Cessna 508.
121.675 Endeavour 49er21. Goodbye. Washington Center, Endeavour 49er21, flight level 350.
Endeavour 49er21 Washington Center radar contact continue.
We got a GBE after that, or where did we go? Let's see. Rosk, Drake, Nispel. municipal. And then Nobby 5 and... Okay. Yeah. Delaney is after that. Delancey. I always say Delaney, I mean Delancey.
Brickyard 5846 heavy traffic is 2 o'clock 4 miles at flight level 310 Airbus A20N. Report them in sight. Brickyard 4761 heavy traffic is 8 o'clock 4 miles at flight level 350 Airbus A20N. Report them in sight.
Guardias.
Endeavour 49er21 traffic is 3 o'clock 4 miles at flight level 360 Airbus A20N. Report them in sight.
Got nothing here, guy. Just leave me alone.
Brickyard 5846 heavy have the traffic.
Endeavour 49er21,
There it
don't
is
have
right there.
Airbus A20N in sight.
Can I add the... I'm trying to add the whole arrival of this thing.
Piedmont 5765 heavy, you are 21 miles southwest. Climb and maintain 11,000 feet. Expect vectors visual runway 21 approach. Brickyard 4761 heavy have the Airbus A20N in sight. Generic 857 contact Washington Center on 135.4. Good day. Descend and maintain 11,000 feet. Expect vectors visual runway 21 approach Piedmont 5765 heavy.
Can I
135.4
beat it?
generic 857. Goodbye.
I'm trying to add this as the...
Brickyard
the whole
5846 heavy traffic alert. 1 o'clock less than 1 mile flight level 310 Airbus A20N. Report them in sight. Endeavour 49er21 contact
Alright.
Washington Center on 133.2. Good day.
332, see it.
Brickyard 5846 heavy have the Airbus A20N in sight.
Go to radio, please. Thanks.
Going to 133.2 Endeavour 49er21. Washington Center Endeavour 49er21 flight level 350.
Endeavour 49er21 Washington Center radar contact continue.
Yeah, I'm curious how I can load in the whole destination, arrival. Okay, probably do it here. So let's try select that. I want Nobby 5. That will do it probably. Nobby 5. What's that? Add to route. Okay.
Endeavour 49er21 contact Washington Center on 120.65. Good day.
That will do it.
Blue Streak 5484 contact Washington Center on 121.675.
That's added to the route. Good.
Good day.
And we'll select an approach.
Going to 121.675.
Yeah, so the UI is really good, and this is why people do it. This, I'm glad they made. Like, I don't feel terrible that I spent the money on this. Just like if I just bought the database, I'd be kind of annoyed. But this is actually pretty cool.
Blue Streak 5081 contact Washington Center on 120.65.
So yeah, so this has the entire route plugged in now, and I guess you can tie it in where it actually shows where you are. But like,
120.65.
you know, like really,
Blue Streak 5081.
you know, when you fly commercially, you don't need to know all the, like, you don't need, like, you know where you are. Like, this becomes second nature. Like, we're flying IFR. I don't care where the lakes are. I don't care where the airports are. VFR, you do care about that. So when you're flying by visual flight rules, you do care about where the lakes and all that are, because that's how you navigate.
49er21, did you hear my last transmission?
No, I didn't. I'm ignoring you mostly.
Going to 120.65 Endeavour 49er21. Washington Center,
you know,
Endeavour
you need to know that
49er21,
stuff.
flight
So,
level
like,
350.
for a lot of the GA airplanes, they show all this
Endeavour
because
49er21 Washington Center radar contact continue.
it makes it so that if you're a VFR pilot or an IFR pilot, you can still use it. In the airlines, everybody's an IFR pilot, so like you don't need to see. So that's why it's a black screen with waypoints. Like that's all you care about, and that's why like if you look at this is the IFR high altitude chart. Like I don't care where the lakes are. I really don't.
Endeavour 49er21 traffic is 9 o'clock 4 miles at flight level 340 Cessna Skyhawk.
Not a
Report them in
Skyhawk,
sight.
it's CJ.
Exejet 577, you are 52 miles south. Descend and maintain 13,000 feet. Expect vectors ILS runway 12 approach.
It'd be a nice place.
Endeavour
Some
49er
farming sim
21
again.
don't have
New
Cessna
farming sims
Skyhawk
coming
in
out too.
sight.
So there's some new good sim games coming out.
Climb and maintain 13,000 feet. Expect vectors ILS runway 12 approach Exejet 577.
So yeah, like as an IFR pilot, I really don't care about like looking out the window at all. Like I look inside the whole time. You know, like until you're visual, like I don't really care. And that's part of that's the skill set is trusting your instruments, following your instruments, looking at your instruments. So I don't need to know like where like terrain will show up on this map. So you know you're in a valley between two mountains. But for the most part, this is all I want or need, and it's like I don't need anything other than this leg screen to get me there. You know, VFR you do kind of need to know like where visual references are because that's the whole way you're navigating.
Goodbye.
Yeah, but this will be a cool
Exejet
kind of screw with here.
577 contact Washington Center on 132.55.
Like, I also wouldn't plan this way, likely. Like, probably what I would have planned is, this is fine up to Baxley. You have to go to Baxley. And then team is fine, but then I probably would have taken
Alaska Tree 22
Q75
7 miles west. Climb and maintain
to
8,400 feet. Expect ILS runway 19 right approach via DUBBD transition.
Slow Joe.
Clear to DUBBD.
Then I would have switched to whatever this Q route is here. The what is it? It's still Q75.
Washington Center
Q75
76 heavy is passing
to
flight level
Greensboro
360,
to
descending flight level
Q75 to Brosk.
American 2276 heavy Washington Center
Q75
radar contact. Continue to COUPN.
to Drake. Still Q75. Q75
Climb and maintain 8,400
to
feet. Expect
GVE.
ILS runway 19 right approach via DUBBD transition. Cleared to DUBBD Alaska Tree 22
And
heavy.
then let's see, probably go in, keep on
Endeavour
Q75.
49er21 traffic is 1 o'clock 3 miles at flight level tree 20
Just calling
Airbus
traffic all day
A20N.
tonight.
Report them in sight.
Sometimes it do be like this though. It's just constant, just calling
Endeavour
on traffic.
49er21 don't have the traffic.
Where's the A-bound scope?
JetBlue 819er heavy
Right
traffic
behind
is
us
5
already.
o'clock 3 miles at flight level tree 60. Report them in sight.
You know, you don't do your flight plan in the airlines either. The dispatch does it. You know, so you have people who
Washington
that's
Center
their whole
runway
job is to
360
plan. So they know
heavy
if you need
is passing
alternates, they go
13,000
through
feet,
like,
climbing 17,000 feet.
you know, we need to know when you need alternates
Envoy
too, but like they
367
can
heavy
literally go
Washington
through
Center
pages and
altimeter
pages of
30.12
exceptions and I know them.
radar contact continue.
You know, they give you a fuel load that should be good, but you review it,
JetBlue 819er heavy has
see if you
in
want
sight.
more fuel.
Endeavour 49er21 contact Washington Center on 134.15. Good day. Alaska Tree 22 heavy contact Potomac approach on 126.1. Good day. United 1168
This
heavy
is annoying
contact
when they do
Potomac
this.
approach on 124.2. Good day.
Going to 1 tree for decimal 15 Endeavour 49er21. Washington Center Endeavour 49er21 flight level 350.
Endeavour 49er21 Washington Center radar contact. Continue to an ASPL.
Yeah, so I'd probably go from here up to here. And then, you know, they might do some direct routing through here. They might then take you up here to get to Delancey, because you're not going to come down on this route here and then hook up to Delancey, probably. So I don't know. They might be doing a bunch of direct stuff, but they're not using the Q routes. I would say they'd probably be using the Q routes. Q routes are GPS routes. So like you have jet routes, which are usually VOR to VOR. Things are changing with GPS. They're changing quite a bit. But like all these Q routes are GPS routes. Because they're starting to decommission a lot of VORs. Trying to find jet routes.
Air Portugal 2, tree 1 heavy, you are tree 1 miles
Probably hard to
north.
find jet routes now.
Descend and maintain 4,000 feet. Expect ILS
So like you
runway
can see in
19
green here, it'll tell you when you
approach
switch
via
from
transition.
Jacksonville Center to Washington
Clear
Center.
to Lenio.
Like so, I should be able to find where we switch over to New York Center. Right here is Washington, New York Center boundary. So once we get up past once we get
Descend and maintain
into Nispel
4,000
here,
feet.
that's when
Expect
they
ILS
do the
runway
switch.
19 left approach via Lenio transition. Clear to Lenio. Air Portugal 2, tree 1 heavy.
So like here's a jet route. See this right here? That's J6.
Air Portugal 2, tree 1
That's
heavy.
between
Contact Potomac
VORs,
approach on
Lancaster
120.45.
VOR, and this here is what? Can't see. Robbinsville. Nope, is it Robbinsville? What the hell is that? I can't see it.
120.45 Air Portugal
Martinsburg.
2, tree 1 heavy. Goodbye.
So the jet routes are between the VORs. Well, they're shutting a lot of VORs down. And so there you go to Lancaster, and then we should have somewhere on here the changeover point. Let's see, does it publish it on here? Tell you when to change from one VOR to the next. I don't see it on here right now. Maybe it doesn't show changeovers on this chart. And so this is going VOR to VOR.
Endeavour 49er21 traffic is 10 o'clock 4 miles at flight level 350 Airbus A20N.
There it
Report
is
them
right
in
there.
sight.
It's close.
Endeavour 49er21, have the
Come right
Airbus
under here.
A20N in sight.
So Q routes are kind of new. They're all the GPS routes. They are T routes, I think. Yeah, I think they're T routes in the low altitude charts. So if you're in a smaller plane going at a lower altitude, you'll be on a T. That's the GPS routes down low.
Endeavour 49er21 contact New York Center on 132.2. Good day.
The 322, see it. Like if you
Going
type
to
it in fast like that, you don't have to
132.2
memorize it.
Endeavour 49er21.
You just read it off. So you type it in real quick and then read it off to them, and then you don't have to memorize it. So it's a way to
New
not
York
have to
Center,
try to remember the
Endeavour
numbers, but you get
49er21,
good at
flight
it after a
level
while.
350.
You know, just remember them.
Endeavour 49er21, New York Center radar contact. Continue to NISPL.
Nispel. See what else this is. I'm kind of, you know, I was kind of dreading buying this Navigraph just because that would be a waste of money, but it's not bad. You know, $10 a month, you get all this, and it's you get the new. The main thing is I want my FMS to work properly. But you can see how it's. We get the purple line is our en route. We've got the green, which is our rival for a star, and then we have the orange here is
American
our approach.
2484 heavy contact Washington Center on
And I could put overlays in here. So for example, right now we've got Nobby
day.
overlaid. I could put in. Let's see. I can overlay just the approach here.
134.15 American 2484 heavy. Goodbye.
Overlaid Nobby. I didn't bring it back up. But yeah, I kind of see all the different stuff overlaid there. It's kind of cool. All right, we're on our way to Delancey now, which is the beginning. See how the plane's rocking? People have already reported that. Hopefully they'll fix it sometime. All right, looking at the arrival here. So we want to be below 17,000. It's an expect at Peter. So we're on our way to Delancey now. If we look here on the pink line, it will tell us that it is 178 nautical miles on a course of 042. So that's our course inbound there. So these are 3 different transitions. So we have Delancey, RKA, which is Rockdale, and Albany. So that these 3 could start it. So like, say you're coming up from the north here a little bit, you might come in on RKA because you wouldn't want to come down to Delancey and turn. You just come into RKA. Coming up from this way, you'd probably go into Albany. So like if we were going to Boston, from Boston rather, we'd probably go Boston up over here to Albany and then down on the Nobby 5. But you can see how much real estate this covers. This covers like huge amounts of real estate. Like for example, Rhode Island is only this big. It's also a small state, but you notice so this arrival is bigger than, you know, some states. Shit, I forgot to do display cap again. Yeah, you can see how big it is compared to, like, this is Mass. Mass's board is pretty much like here.
Endeavour 49er21 contact New York Center on 132.5.
25.
Good day.
One tree 2.5 Endeavour 49er21. Goodbye. New York Center Endeavour 49er21 flight level 350.
Alright, start getting ready for night here.
Endeavour 49er21 New York Center radar contact. Continue to Delta November Yankee. Center Frontier Flight 1038 Heavy is passing flight level 185, climbing flight level 210. Frontier Flight 1038
Alright, so you need Delancey in 18 minutes. We got 146 miles. Ooh, we got a good ground speed. We picked up a hellacious tailwind, which is beautiful. We got a 69 knot tailwind, giggity. So we're going, we got a ground speed of 525 knots. There was one night we were going to Florida. I was flying and we were going 666 knots because we had like a 200 knot tailwind. So it was beautiful. But then we had to fight the headwind, and that was gross. You know, so like that's important stuff you need to know because of like how much fuel you're gonna have to pack on. You know, if you got the tailwind, you're not gonna need as much fuel. You got that headwind, you're gonna need a lot of fuel fighting it. So you might want to choose like it might be more efficient for you to cruise at flight level 250 than 350 if the wind is hellacious for a headwind at 350. You could actually save fuel going down at a lower altitude because you're not fighting the wind. That's a lot of stuff.
Delta 1037 Heavy, contact New York Center on 132.2. Good day. New York Center Air Transport Tree 204 Heavy is passing 11,400 feet, climbing flight level 210. Air Transport Tree 204 Heavy, New York Center altimeter tree 0.1 tree, radar contact, continue. New York Center Southwest 267 Heavy is at flight level 190, climbing flight level 200. Southwest 267 Heavy, New York Center radar contact, continue. Endeavor 49er21, contact New York Center on 123.625. Good day.
123.625 Endeavor 49er21. Goodbye. New York Center Endeavor 49er21, flight level 350.
Endeavor 49er21, New York Center radar contact, continue to Delta November Yankee.
We'll answer.
Endeavor 49er21, contact New York Center on 134.45. Good day.
Going to 134.45 Endeavor 49er21. New York Center Endeavor 49er21, flight level 350.
Endeavor 49er21 New York Center radar contact. Continue to Delta November Yankee.
A nice purple sky right now. Ooh, look at that, pretty. Very pretty. So pretty.
Spirit Wing 328 Heavy contact New York Center on 124.625.
Lovely. Lovely, lovely.
124.625 Spirit Wings 328 Heavy. Goodbye.
Moving along, moving along. So it's starting to get busy getting into the New York area here. Still pretty far west. Bring up the charts here. We're still out west here. Let's see here, we're coming up here, probably somewhere in this neighborhood here. Start getting some crossing traffic. People coming up on the Nobby 5. Alright, coming up on Delancey here. We're almost there. Should be getting a descent here. We got a lot of altitude to lose here. We're expecting it, but doesn't mean they're gonna give it to us. So Peter, we're gonna be at Peter in 6 minutes, and we're supposed to be down, expecting 17,000 feet, Peter. So we're losing, gonna lose a lot, 18,000 feet. We'll see what he gives us here.
Endeavor 49er21, contact Boston Center on 133.25. Good day.
One tree 3.25 Endeavor 49er21. Goodbye. Boston Center Endeavor 49er21 flight level 350.
Endeavor 49er21, Boston Center radar contact. Continue to Delta November Yankee.
Alright, how can we descend here? Come on. Let's be a Peter at 17,000 here. Come on, man. Send us.
Boston Center Endeavor 49er21. Request flight level 250.
Endeavor 49er21, descend and maintain flight level 250.
Descend and maintain flight
I know
level
it's an
250
expect, but
Endeavor
also-
49er21.
Come on, man. Get us down there. You can see the tape going up as we descend. The red part of the tape. Our Mach number is going to change. Why it's cutting the corner of Peter so bad, I don't know.
Boston Center Endeavor 49er21. Request 17,000 feet.
Endeavor 49er21, descend and maintain flight level 250. Expect 17,000 feet.
Descend and maintain flight level 250. Expect 17,000 feet. Endeavor 49er21.
Not too much, just pretty much, we just started descent, like literally right now. Their ATC, of course, give me late descents, so. Supposed to be at Peter at 17,000, they didn't give me any descent, so I had to ask for it myself. My god, the plane rocking around like this is really annoying. We're really confused with the game right
Endeavor
here.
49er21, descend and maintain 17,000 feet.
17,000, finally, gonna give me the right altitude there.
Descend
guy.
and maintain 17,000 feet. Endeavor 49er21.
17,000. See if I can't get a. Do we have weather in? See if we got any weather in there. Let's see. What's the 2595?
Endeavor 49er21, contact Boston Center on 134 decimal tree. Good day.
Going to 1 tree for decimal tree Endeavor 49er21.
2595, I moved up. 2595.
Boston Center Endeavor 49er21 is passing flight level 220, descending 17,000 feet.
Endeavor 49er21, Boston Center radar contact. Continue to Cyper.
Need an altitude guy. Need an altimeter setting, huh? Just cheat it out of here. Be annoying to not give me the altimeter settings until I'm friggin' already below 180. 15. That would be 180 for 170. Alright, no speed restrictions on this. Alright, let's work the descent checklist. Alright, landing elevation set, fuel is checked, TCAS is on, radar is going to be off, CAS is set, landing data is set, approach briefing I went over, so that's complete as well. Descent check is complete. That's interesting. Yeah, I'd have to look into it more. I haven't really done much with it, I've been doing other stuff.
Southwest 1315 heavy, you are 4 miles south. Descend and maintain 11,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 19er approach via Alpha Lima Bravo transition.
My time's going to be a lot
Alpha
busier
Lima
here
Bravo.
coming up. Be harder to do multiplayer stuff.
Descend and maintain 11,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 19er approach via Alpha Lima Bravo transition. Clear to Alpha Lima Bravo Southwest.
Somebody's coming in on the Albany
1315 heavy.
transition. Drop a little bit of floodlight on you. That one's off now. Why turn right to go to cache? Let's go right to go to right, please. Thanks. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Turn right, you son. Jesus Christ. What is the autopilot doing in this plane? People have been
Ethiopian 508 heavy traffic is
complaining about it on the
4
forums.
miles at 14,200 feet Airbus A20N. Report them in sight.
Just don't know what it's doing here. I turned the wrong
Boston
direction.
Center United 521 Heavy 15,800 feet. United 521 Heavy Boston Center altimeter 30.11 radar contact. Continue to India Golf November. Ethiopian 508 Heavy have the traffic.
I'm just gonna run the heading bug until it stops screwing it up. Where the wind coming from, so it might be just having problems predicting the wind. It's making big eccentric corrections. Back on a nav mode, see if we'll capture it now. See, it's late in the turn. Gonna screw it up. Come on, turn. See, it's late on the turn. It's like it's not counting for wind. We got a wind pushing us on course. It's just being late. Now it's gonna rock all over town because it was late.
Endeavour 49er21 descend and maintain 9,000 feet.
9,000.
Descend and maintain 9,000 feet. Endeavour 49er21.
Let's see for shit. Come on. $9,000.
Boston Center Exejet 906 is passing 14,000 feet, climbing 17,000 feet. Exejet 906 Boston Center altimeter 30.13 radar contact. Continue. LaGuardia Airport information Kilo 2300 Zulu. Wind 186 at 6. Visibility 10. Sky condition, few clouds at 5,000 feet. Temperature, 2.10. Altimeter 30.15. ILS runway 22 in use. Landing and departing runway 22. VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact you have Kilo.
Kilo. We have Kilo.
LaGuardia Airport information Kilo
Did I
2300
actually shut
Zulu.
you off?
What?
Apparently not. This dude is doing over here.
ExitJet 906 contact Boston Center on 128.1. Good day.
Let's try track IR early. Tough sometimes to spin things in with track IR on, but we'll try.
128.1 ExitJet 906. Goodbye. Endeavor 4921 contact Boston Center on 128.1. Good day.
Going to 128.1 Endeavor 4921. Boston Center Endeavor 4921 is at 10,200 feet, descending 9,000 feet.
Endeavor 4921 Boston Center altimeter 30.16 radar contact. Continue to remiss.
Did you say 1.6? 6.
Endeavor 4921 contact New York approach on 120.8. Good day.
One 120.8 Endeavor 4921. Goodbye. New York approach Endeavor 4921 9,100 feet.
Endeavor 4921 New York approach altimeter 30.16 radar contact. Continue to remiss. Endeavor 4921 descend and maintain 3,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 3,000 feet Endeavor 4921.
$3,000. Alright, so we need to be 3,000 to Yeoman here. Let's put that in. Rayleigh to Yeoman. There we go. Legs completed. Alright, we're on final now, pretty much. I'll wait till Yeoman to put it on the localizer.
49er21, you are 23 miles northeast. Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect vectors ILS runway 22 approach.
Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect vectors ILS runway 22 approach. Endeavor for 9er21.
Music for the approach. Alright, 1,000 feet to go. 4 for 3. We're on our way to Yeoman now.
Endeavor 49er21, you are 18 miles northeast of LaGuardia. Maintain present heading and altitude. Contact tower on 118.7.
Maintain present heading and altitude. Tower on 118.7. Endeavor 49er21.
Dragon localizer.
Tower Endeavor for 9er 2116 miles northeast inbound ILS runway 22 approach.
Endeavor 49er21 tower. Altimeter tree 0.15, wind 184 at 6. Cleared ILS runway 22 approach.
Smooth approach.
Cleared ILS runway 22 approach. Endeavor 49er21.
Clear to land runway 22 number 2, Brickyard 5846 heavy. Brickyard 5846 heavy number 3 for landing. Follow the Airbus A20N on final. Wind 184 at 6. Clear to land runway 22. Clear to land runway 22 number 3, Brickyard 5846 heavy.
We're closing on this dude in front of me, I think. They'd be giving you speed. They'd be telling you what speed they need you at too sometimes. Here's coming down. We're crossing Yeoman here. I put in there 2,000 should be 19. Okay.
Endeavor 5084 number 4 for landing. Follow the aircraft on final. Wind 184 at 6. Clear to land runway 22.
Go there. Yep, that's the other one. It's not us. Okay.
Clear to land runway 22 number 4, Endeavor 5084.
Alright, approach selected.
Traffic.
See, we got one coming under us here because the game doesn't know to slow down approach speed. We're within the ILS here. We should all be at approach speed here. Come on, guys. See them right above us? Like, what the fuck? This game is silly. IRL day would just, people would start slowing down. Like, you hit the initial approach fixing and start slowing down. They say he just disappeared, luckily. Realized he's in my way probably and disappeared him. Alright, glide slope's alive. Should be glide slope intercept here in a second. We'll head down on it. I can read the, we get clear to land? Not yet, no. Right, flight attendants advise passenger signs. They're on thrust reverser, arm landing gears down, flaps are set to 45. 4-lane check is complete. We're intercepting a glide slope now. We're a little slow.
Traffic, traffic.
Traffic again.
Endeavour 49er 21 2 for landing. Follow the aircraft on final. Wind 19er tree at 7. Cleared to land runway 22.
Cleared to land runway 22 number 2 Endeavour 49er 21.
What is this guy doing? This Cessna, man. What the fuck? What is that about? Good lord, man. What are they doing? You're not gonna be in the Bravo with that anyway. Alright. Autopilot's coming off.
$1,000.
1,000.
Tower Delta 856 Heavy 17 miles northwest inbound ILS runway 22 approach. Delta 856 Heavy Tower. Altimeter tree 0.15, wind 19er tree at 7. Cleared ILS runway 22 approach. Cleared ILS runway 22 approach Delta 856 Heavy. Tower Brickyard 5681 Heavy ready for IFR departure runway 22. Brickyard 5681 Heavy hold short runway 22. Traffic is on the runway. Endeavour 49er 21 exit runway when able. Hold short runway 22 Brickyard 5681 Heavy. Endeavour 49er 21 contact ground on 127.675. Brickyard 5681 Heavy altimeter tree 0.15, wind 19er tree at 7. Traffic is Cessna Skyhawk on final. Cleared for takeoff runway 22.
127.675 Endeavour 49er 21. Goodbye.
Cleared for takeoff runway 22 Brickyard 5681 Heavy.
Until the aircraft has come to a complete stop.
Delta 2732 Heavy number 2 for landing.
Ground Endeavour 49er 21 request taxi to the gate.
Endeavour 49er 21 taxi to gate 6 via taxiway Bravo Sierra Papa cross runway 22 Foxtrot Bravo Bravo. Endeavour 49er 21 hold position, caution the departing Airbus A20N.
Taxiing to gate 6 via taxiway Bravo Golf Golf Alpha Echo cross runway 4 Foxtrot Bravo Bravo Endeavour 49er 21.
Endeavour 49er 21 continue taxi.
Roger Endeavour 49er 21.
Alright. Right, APU is, let's see, I haven't turned it on yet. Let's click it on. I open the door. Alright, APU is coming on. Transponder is going to be off. Transponder's off. Radar's off. Let's see, slats flaps are up. Probes are coming off. Probes are off. Alright, after landing checklist complete. And we'll shut down 2. Just taxiing on 1. What's this guy doing here? Is that JFK? Oh, that's weird. The other way, truck. The other way, truck. I'm walking here. I'm walking here. Park brake. Alright, shut down 2.
Please make your way to the exit and please make sure you have all your personal items and carry-on luggage.
Ground Endeavour 49er21, could you please connect the jetway to the aircraft?
Endeavour 49er21, the jetway is going to be connected.
Here comes jetway. By the time will actually tell us when the passengers are all off too. Kinda neat. Alright, we'll go ahead and we'll shut down the APU. And then we'll finish. Alright, good. So that was a fun flight. Getting back from JAX. Alright guys, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, go ahead and like the video. If you're new and you enjoyed it, consider subscribing. And I will see you guys in the next one.